We are taking our pigs to get tagged at the fairgrounds. So we have to load them in the trailer, take them to the fairgrounds.
We're not using the trailer, we're using the truck.
Oh, get them in the truck and take them to the fairgrounds, and then get them tagged and get them back. And it's gonna be tricky getting them in there because they can be wild sometimes.
So we got the pigs in there. They're in the truck now. That's not how we would normally transport pigs. Usually we put them in the trailer, same trailer we haul the cows in. But we don't currently have a ramp for that trailer. We got to build one. These pigs are not big enough to jump up that high into the trailer, so we had to get a little creative with how we're hauling them today. Hopefully they stay in the back of that pickup. They seem pretty calm right now. We'll see what happens once we start driving. All right, we just got back. We got tags put in these pigs' ears. We're doing this for 4-H. They have to tag them and they're supposed to get a weight normally, but they didn't weigh them today because of the coronavirus. So we are going to measure them today and see about how much they weigh.
I slept all night on a big white ship. Seagulls were dancing all around. I woke up with a sunrise on the sea. Such a precious gift to me. A salty breeze and the waves. A slow pace. A salty breeze and the waves. I'm not around late. Yesterday we followed the road of the moon. We drove all day towards the coast. beauty of this life, such a feeling to be alive. The salty breeze in my lungs, and back to where I'm from. The salty breeze in my lungs, on and on and on and on. Salty breeze and the waves, the slow pace, the salty breeze and the waves, no matter where I I want to live in an uptown. Like to see the boats leaving at the break of dawn. I want to live in an arbor town, surrounded by the sea my artist friend. The salty breeze and the waves, the slow pace, the salty breeze and the waves. No matter where I play.
Did you get that? Okay. That side. Oh, she's waiting. Side tail.
Yeah.
Okay, lift up first. You got it? Yeah. Well, that was way easier than having the wire stabbing me in the head, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, just let her walk out there now. So sometimes you just gotta figure it out by trial and error. That was way easier the second round. We should have done that when we put them in. But we got it done. Pigs are back. Now it's time to move on to some chickens. We're probably for tonight we're gonna be done, but I'll show you what we're doing with the chickens here tomorrow. And then this weekend, I think we're gonna take care of those roosters finally. So there you have it. That's how you get pigs in the back of your pickup. One last thing before we call it a night tonight. Some of you might be wondering why we got this silly goat running around who gets tangled up all the time. I might say that he's on weed management, and this is what we're talking about here. Excuse all the cars passing, we're right up by the road. We live on a county highway, and so we get a lot of loud traffic. But if you come up here, all of those weeds right there, it's called leafy spurge. All of this. That is an invasive weed in the state of Idaho. It will take over much of our property if we let it, and so we've got to be careful to keep it under control. In fact, we can actually get cited for having it on our property if we're not spraying it or have some sort of weed control system set up. And so we've got the goat to keep those weeds at bay. It is by far his favorite thing to eat. So I'll go grab him and we'll see how he works at it. First things first, we got to get him untangled. He'll have all that stuff gone by morning. We could easily just spray all the weeds around our property and probably have them gone within a year or two. But we try to keep as many chemicals off the property as we can. And so, easy way to do it with no work for me. Just tie that goat out there. In fact, it'll probably be more work for me to go out and spray all of that than it is just to untangle that goat every day. This way, I can just put him there, he does all the work, and all I have to do is untangle him once or twice a day. But anyway, we'll call that a night.
Today we're catching roosters, and so we're going to be butchering them today, and we have to get them out of the chicken coop, hopefully without getting the hens out. So we're catching them and we're gonna put them in our crate back here, and then we're gonna butcher them sometime today.
Yeah, we need to put them in the crate so that we don't have to chase them out and try and catch them. So, we got him.
That was easier than I thought it would be. Covered in chicken poop, but got our roosters. Woo! They're not happy about this. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Alright, so the kids caught the roosters this morning. We're going to butcher them and pluck them now. Our process is we're going to just hang them upside down. We don't have a cone to stick them in. Normally you'd often stick them in a cone. We're just going to hang them upside down to kind of sedate them and then just butcher them that way. And then we got to carry them across the yard. Let's see if you can see there. Over there where the kids are. We're gonna hang them on that ladder over there. And then we're gonna bring them over here where we've got our cooker going. We're gonna scald them in there. We're trying to keep this end out of the wind a little bit, so we've got it up against the house. And then we'll take them back over there and we'll pluck them into the pig pen. So that's our plan for now. We'll see how things go. So they don't do anything when they're hanging upside down.
Hi! He's like,
bring it over here.
What happened?
Make sure none of them come out. I am guarding the door.
So when we scald these birds, we're going to do about 30 seconds to start with, and then we'll test and see how well the feathers come out. One of the keys to scalding chickens to help get the feathers out is to make sure you agitate it. A lot of times people will dunk the chicken in and out with just scalds them unevenly. You want to kind of swirl them and agitate them that way, but not dip them in and out of the water. So we're going to jump in and try that. We've never used one of these before, so we'll see how this turns out. We're kind of just experimenting with it. So, all right, go for it.
They have hairy armpits.
Keep going. So, round one didn't go so well. I don't think we scalded the bird long enough, and so it took us forever to pluck it. It kind of ended up not being so great. So we're gonna cook that one up and feed it to the pigs. But we're gonna try again, see if we can be a little quicker this time. All right, we're gonna try a little bit longer on this one. We're gonna go for about 45 seconds, see if that does a little better. So we finished the 2 roosters. The second one turned out okay. As you can see, that plucker worked still mediocre. I've watched several videos of people using them. I've never seen anybody actually finish a bird off. I think that's because you have to finish off by hand. They don't work that well. We'll probably try it again, maybe see if we can get a better setup. For today, we got enough to do our soup that we're gonna make with them, and so we are not gonna worry about doing these last 2. They get to go free. But we got a few more things to do out here with our chickens, and we'll get into that in just a minute. You're free! So we'll get a few things cleaned up real quick and then we'll jump into our next project.
I got my bags packed, timeline on track. My winter coat stuck in the closet way back. I won't be needing that. I won't be needing that.
All right, our next project is to clean out the chicken coop. Let me show it to you a little bit first, kind of how we built it here. So we've got it just up against our shop. It just sits there. Up against the shop. On this side I've got the door coming out. The chicken's coming in and out there. Eventually going to build a ramp there, but for now these birds don't have their wings clipped, so they can actually get in and out just by jumping up there, kind of flying up and down. On this side we have built a door with their nesting boxes in it. So their nesting boxes sit in there. I can just undo the latch. This drops down. or right into their nesting boxes. I like that versus the top that opens up, because that way the kids can get in there easier. It's not as high. Seems a little bit easier to clean too, and we'll show you that in a minute, how I clean it out. That door dropping down makes it a lot easier. Close that up. Alright, and on this other side of it, we've got, down here is the pig pen. This is usually where we keep pigs in the winter, and then we let them out to pasture when we've got pasture pigs. We had to get rid of our 2 pasture pigs. They were not doing super well, and so we've just got these 4-H ones. You can see them sleeping in there. So we got the little houses usually where we keep them in the winter, but on this side of this chicken coop I put 2 big doors there, so I can open these doors up. And I got full access clear inside that coop. It's pretty bad in there. You can see it's been too long since I cleaned it out. See if I can get my light here. See inside there, I've got a run of roosts that they can climb up on. And they'll sleep up there, and then their nesting boxes on the other end. So I'll show you how quick this is to clean it out where both ends open up. I can dump it right into this pig pen, so we'll jump into doing that.
So now you're here again, knocking at my door. A little too late for, I'm sorry for. The lights went out 'cause you kept cutting the cord, and I started to fade into your gray. See, I finally opened up my eyes, and I saw me coming back to life. That I'd be better without you inside. It's time to be someone.
And just like that, it's all cleaned out. We got, let's take a look inside. The floor looks pretty clean. There's still some remnants in there. We're just gonna leave it because we're gonna fill it back up with straw. Down here on the ground, this is mostly just compost now. The pigs will pick through it. Sometimes they'll eat a little bit of it. Some people worry about them eating chicken poop, but it's really not so bad for them. The chickens digest the food pretty fast and leave a lot of leftovers. They probably won't touch much of that because it's been in there a little too long and a lot of it's already composted, so it's not going to be worth eating. And now we'll just fill it back up with some straw.
See, I finally opened up my eyes, and I saw me coming back to life. That I'd be better without you inside. It's time to be someone I want to recognize. The future starts right now. I made a reservation, but you never came, so I'm checking out. The fire you stole away, I know one day we'll come back around. The future is now.
Now we're all done cleaning it out. A few things about this chicken coop. You can see we built it elevated off the ground. A lot of times people do that so that they can have a run and the chickens can go underneath it, give them a little more space to run around. We do it just for predators mostly, but as I've been working through this, the other thing I'm going to do with it is on that underneath side, I am going to build a second platform where I can store feed. I can also, I'm going to make a brooder down there so that I can keep some of our younger chicks. We often keep them when they're young just in the house for the first little while, mostly for the kids because they like that. And then we'll keep them in the garage to keep them warm, but I'm going to build a brooder under here so that I don't have to have them in the house anymore. We'll see when we get to that, but that's what the plan is. The other thing you can see is on our door coming out, you can see there's an extension cord sticking out there. I wanted to show you that. So I built this several years ago, designed the system with this light. Now let's see if we can see it up here. Right up in there, you can see it. There is a photo cell. And that photo cell goes to my light, and then I built a timer in it. So I've got my light up there, and then I also have a timer connected to that light that automatically resets it every day. So this light will turn on 9 hours after sunset every day, no matter what. As long as I've got it plugged in, I've always got 9 hours of darkness, then it turns on in the morning. So you don't need a light for all places raising chickens, but we're far enough north that if we don't supply a light for them in the winter, they will stop laying altogether. They don't get enough daylight during the day, and so we supplement their light. I've got it set on that timer so I never have to worry about it. As long as we've got power turned on and that's plugged in, then we will always have the exact amount of light. I never have to reset timers. Got some fresh straw for the pigs. And for now, I think we're done outside. Andrea has been sick for the last few days, and so she has been down in bed for about 3 days now. In the meantime, the house has fallen to pieces because I've been working, and so the kids haven't been doing chores. They've just been having a great time. So we got to get on them today to get chores done, get the house cleaned up, so we'll go head inside and do that. Well, our day wouldn't be complete without untangling Gary. Got himself tangled up again, but he's doing good keeping these weeds down. So, Gary's been doing all right keeping these weeds under control. I don't think he's been able to keep up. We've got probably about 600 feet of ditch bank here that he's got to take care of. It's just completely covered in this leafy spurge weed, and so it's going to be a lot of work for him. So we actually found a lady that's going to give us 2 other goats the same size as him. But yeah, so we're going to go pick those up a little bit later today, we think. We got to get back with this lady, but if that can happen, we'll make it work and we'll have a little bit more weed control out here. So Andrea got back just a little while ago with these new goats, so we'll come check them out. I'll just tie them out here real quick. So this is the rest of our weed management program here. We've got Gonzo. Say hi, Gonzo. Little jumpy still. And then over here, we got Willie. He's actually a Billy, so we'll see how he interacts with the kids. I don't know if he's gonna be trying to knock him around. We might have to figure out something else to do with him. At least keep him away from the yard. But that's what we're working on now, is getting them trained to eat these weeds. Not that we have to train them to eat weeds, but getting them trained to being tied out. They've never been tied out like this before. And get them used to being around us and being a little more friendly. So anyway, we'll call it a night tonight. Here's the end result of our roosters.